if you want to build trust with executive leadership, you need to start saying what they're saying out loud. Welcome to Executive Coaching in the AI Era, the place where you get real, no fluff, proven processes for navigating the chaotic, ever-changing corporate world. I'm Stacy Mayer, executive coach, promotion strategist, and best-selling author. For the past decade, I've been helping senior leaders like you make the intangible process of getting to the leadership table tangible, even during layoffs, economic downturns, and AI disruption. Let's go. Hello, corporate badasses. Welcome to another episode of Executive Coaching in the AI Era. I am your host, Stacy Mayer, and super excited, as always, to be here with you again this week. Welcome to the summertime. If you've been following me for more than 5 minutes, you know every single summer I celebrate the summer of magic. And this year, I am in my 5th year of celebrating the summer of magic. And I was having a conversation with my business coach about what I wanted to do differently this year, what I wanted to celebrate, and in particular, what I wanted to talk about in this era of AI. You know, it feels like magic is one all around us, that there are magical possibilities still, but that when we get more and more inundated with technology and like the world is moving so quickly, it's easy to forget about the magic. It's easy to get overwhelmed and to lose sight of the magic. And so I was strategizing about what I was going to do this summer, and then I got this whole plan made out. I was going to start and launch the Summer of Magic on the summer solstice, like I usually do, June 21st. But then I go to my LinkedIn feed and there's a celebration from one of the women inside of my leadership table mastermind, my secret society for women leaders, announcing her official promotion. And I needed to celebrate her immediately. So I am so excited to celebrate Stephanie, who is now a senior account executive at ServiceNow. And I want to share with you something that she did on LinkedIn, which I thought was brilliant. When I celebrated her as day one, June 1st, out of the gate, I had to go before I was ready to start the Summer of Magic. But magic doesn't have dates or deadlines, which is a really important thing to remember when you're thinking about what magical opportunities you can bring into your career this summer. And so I celebrated her, and then she responded with, "I am beyond excited to help organizations with the power of AI to drive meaningful outcomes and improve lives." And I think that is such a beautiful sentiment, but also what is more important is that she didn't just say, "Thank you, I'm so honored to be in the position. Thank you." And she did. She said, "Thank you for all of your incredible coaching, encouragement, and belief in me." But then she followed it up with what she is excited about, her actual leadership take on the work and the impact that she is going to be able to do at this new opportunity. And specifically, she mentioned the power of AI to drive meaningful outcomes and improve lives. I think this is an incredible thing for each one of you to really ask yourself and to be willing to talk about what you're excited about and the work that you're doing with artificial intelligence. I was talking to another client and she was saying how this like mantra from the top keeps coming down, and they keep saying, AI is our top priority. AI is our top priority. And I guarantee if you work in any side of corporation, you're hearing this from your CEO, from your executive suite. AI is our top priority, right? And the thing is, that's true because we're seeing it all over the place. AI is clearly their top priority. They're laying off thousands and thousands of people otherwise, and they're replacing them with AI. And they're also telling the people who have the roles that can be replaced by AI to quite literally replace themselves. And this doesn't mean that they're going to work themselves out of a job. For many of them, they're going to figure out artificial intelligence strategies to maximize and drive meaningful outcomes and improve lives at their organization. This is really the work that we're doing. So the reason this came up with my client is because she was saying that they were in this group offsite. And of course, executive leadership is saying AI is our top priority. And what she wanted to point out as an engineering manager was that she is looking at the ways that the human connection is still important when using the technology. This really matters. It matters that we not just police AI, but that we're continuously asking ourselves questions, staying curious, staying on top of it, making sure that we're using the technology in the same ways that we have always made decisions, that we have always had success at our organizations and throughout our careers, right? So asking these deeper, more powerful questions are really important. And I think that she absolutely should be doing that as part of her job. And so then I asked her, how much do you actually use AI in your job on a regular basis? And she said all the time. She's created 5 major workflows at her company using AI. She's incredibly proud of them. And at the same time, she is monitoring it and making sure that she is aware of any of the pitfalls and challenges along the way, right? So she is keeping a close eye on it. She is in charge of the AI as she is creating the output. But the point is that she created 5 major platforms in the last several months that she has been able to successfully roll out at her organization. So now go back to this offsite where she leads with her humanity, like what she's doing to monitor the AI. Instead of leading with her accomplishments, which is the 5 platforms that she created using the technology. So those 5 platforms that she created using the technology of AI tell me that AI is, in fact, her top priority. AI is her top priority, just like the CEOs, just like every executive in the executive suite. Now, the challenge is that if you lead with what you're doing against AI, meaning I'm monitoring it, I'm making sure that everything goes smoothly, which is important, then what you're not doing is saying to the executive suite that AI is your top priority. You've heard the saying that fake it until you make it. And I think a lot of women in particular hate this concept as a concept. It's really difficult to think about because we lose ourselves in the process, right? You start to act more like a man. You're showing up very polished. You don't feel like yourself. You feel like you can't make any mistakes, that you have to hold this perfect persona. I would like to challenge you, instead of faking it until you make it, what I would like you to do instead is to quote unquote say what you're doing. So instead of faking it until you make it, say what you're doing out loud. This is what I talk about a lot, called showing your work. She needs to say that AI is her top priority because it is. Do you see what I'm saying here? Yes, the other things are also her priorities and things that she's spending her time on. But I want each one of you, when we think about executive communication, advancing our careers, there is an opportunity for you to say the words, to match the words of executive leadership, to actually say what they're saying back to them. There is a skill called active listening. This is a skill taught to executive leaders all the time. And the first step that they say before you get quiet and really open your mind and listen to what the other person says, the skill is repeat back to them what they said. And when you do that skill, in active listening, it says that I hear you. And then, of course, if you get anything wrong, they can offer alternatives, right? Because we're always making interpretations in our brain. And so if we do want to become a better active listener, it's important to say out loud. Well, the same thing goes for this with executive leadership. If you want to build trust with executive leadership, you need to start saying what they're saying out loud. She doesn't have to make up the words herself. The truth is AI is her top priority. And say that out loud. She's not even faking it. She's just skipping it. I call this same, but different, right? There's a lot of approaches, a lot of ways that I get to this with my clients. But this idea of same is that, executive leaders, we know this because this is why we have so little diversity in executive leadership. They want to promote people who are the same as them. Traditionally, it's been look, think, act, talk just like me. The problem with people who don't look, think, act, and talk just like the executive suite is that we talk and communicate so differently. We lead with our differences in the beginning of conversations versus acknowledging that we have the same core truth, the same core direction. And then we can move on to what we do, what we think, how we're proceeding, what we're doing to make this not just AI more efficient, but to do it better, to make sure that not only is this company first to market in AI, but that we're doing it better than anybody else on the market. I mean, we see that a lot when we see the success of Claude versus ChatGPT. Claude is essentially, I'm sure there's a debate here, but essentially doing it better than ChatGPT, but they're still an AI platform, right? So first and foremost, AI is their top priority. And they're just doing it better. And that's what I want you to do. But you have to first say the words of executive leadership. So if you want to be taken seriously, if you want to build trust with executive leadership, use the words that they're using. And if the words are AI is our top priority, I invite you to start using that this week. Start saying it. Saying AI is my top priority. I created 5 platforms in under 30 days using AI. And I'm monitoring it and making sure that we don't have any missteps along the way. So you can say the part that you feel like you're not just throwing AI out there for the sake of throwing AI out there, but it is, in fact, your top priority. And so I encourage you, as you're thinking about what you want to include in the conversation this week, to just start doing that, to just start using those words, the same words that executive leadership uses. And then after that, give them your own take on it. I guarantee it feels so much better than fake it until you make it. If you just start saying out loud what you're doing, the process that you're doing, and make it sound like what matters to them, then you are going to find yourself being included in more conversations, having a deeper level of trust, and quite frankly, getting promotions, getting higher level titles, having more influence and impact at your organization, which is what you really want, right? All right, my friends, thank you all so much for listening, and I'll see you next week. Bye. Before you go, if you have not yet subscribed to this podcast, do so now. If you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, go there at stacymayer.com/YouTube and subscribe today. And if you know a colleague, a friend, anyone who needs to hear this message, share this information with them now. Post it to your LinkedIn profile. We are navigating this AI era together, and I am thrilled to help you on this journey. If you want to work with me personally, I invite you to schedule a call with me at stacymayer.com/discovery, where we will map out a career strategy specifically tailored to you. Whether you've recently been laid off or you're just looking to navigate this chaotic landscape and you no longer want to do it alone, go to stacymayer.com/discovery and schedule your free call today.